I, 21 female, want to break up with a girl, 23 female, over going to the food pantry. Okay, so here is the context. I, 21 female, have been dating Amelia, 23 female, for a few weeks now, but after the conversation we had last night I don't know if I can continue to see her. For background, I have been poor for most of my life. I moved out at 18 to escape a bad home situation and I have lived below the poverty line since then. I worked my way up from nothing, and now I have an apartment, a stable job I love, and I'm going to college. It's not much, but it's very meaningful for me because I work hard for everything I have. Amelia comes from a very different background. On our first date, one of the first things I learned about was that her mom was a doctor and stupid rich, but they didn't get along since she cut her off. But the thing was, she wasn't cut off. She and her sister live in a very nice townhouse in the city that their mother bought for them. She gave her a very nice car, and has agreed to continue paying her college tuition after one term of not doing so. Semi-recently, Amelia has been fired from her job. The reason was not her fault, and could be discriminatory, but it still stands that she has been out of work for a while. I totally get that, it's happened to me before and it sucks. So I've been more than happy to let her air her frustrations and process the situation. As an important note, one thing she has been complaining about regularly is that her fun money fund has been dwindling. The other day she texted me a picture of a sandwich, saying essentially, "Look at this giant sandwich I scored at the food pantry," and I was basically taken a bit aback. The way I was raised, the food pantry was absolutely a last resort, reserved for the most vulnerable members of society who truly needed it. As an adult, I have never gone. I was on food stamps for a considerable time when I first moved out, and I am considering reapplying since I will be only working part-time to accommodate my school schedule, but I have never gone to food pantry. I may be wrong, but in my mind it's a finite resource reserved for those who absolutely need it, like struggling families, the homeless, senior citizens etc. So, when she came over last night I thought I should talk to her about it, because maybe she didn't know. She grew up fairly privileged and sheltered, so I wanted to give her the benefit of the doubt. I asked her how long she had been going to the food pantry, and she admitted she had been going for a while. Even before, when she had a job and her mom was paying all her bills. This shocked me. To me, that's a vital community resource she was taking advantage of for shits and giggles. As kindly as I could, I told her I was planning on reapply for food stamps and asked if she had considered that as an alternative. She said she had never thought about doing that before. I recommended it, and essentially told her I was not sure if she was aware, but the food pantry is typically a last resort for very strenuous circumstances. She got all quiet for a while after that, and I don't know if it sunk in. It weirdly made me feel like she thought food stamps were below her, or maybe more complicated than just going and picking up free food. But it rubbed me the wrong way. In general, she can be a bit inconsiderate in an oblivious way. I don't think it's malicious, she just hasn't had a lot of real-world experiences, so she's a bit ungrounded in reality. One time, I was really excited to play one of my favorite card games with her, but she didn't want to. She said it gave her PTSD because she played it on an awkward, bad date a long time ago. She kept playing into that joke, knowing that I have diagnosed PTSD and struggle with regularly, especially earlier that week. We had talked about it and she knew. It's a minute, social faux pas, but it seems to be becoming a pattern. I don't know if I have the extra bandwidth to explain these social rules to her continuously when she doesn't seem receptive to correction. I'm not sure if I am overreacting, or just bitter about our different backgrounds, but I think I want to break up with her. But I need some advice on how to do it in a tactful way. Especially since she is very attached to me and I don't want to hurt her unnecessarily. What's the best way of going about it? Edit, a lot of people were asking, so I thought I would clarify. We live in a very Republican, rural state with severely limited human services. Food pantries are typically locally funded and it's a severely limited resource. SNAP benefits, on the other hand, are federally funded and not dependent on the strained local support systems. They're also typically based on income, so I think she might qualify for them if she applied, since she's currently unemployed. I have more of an issue with the fact that she was using the food pantry while employed, with no bills, so she could have more money for fun stuff. And that she still has money saved but chooses to spend it on video games or workout classes instead of food.